The Epstein case is back in the headlines, reigniting a firestorm of controversy and speculation that has never truly faded from public consciousness. For years, the mysterious circumstances surrounding Jeffrey Epstein's life and death have fueled endless debate, conspiracy theories, and calls for accountability at the highest levels of power. On November 14, 2025, President Trump publicly demanded a new investigation, this time directly targeting prominent Democrats like Bill Clinton and Reid Hoffman. His announcement, made in front of a packed press room, sent shockwaves through Washington and the media, instantly polarizing the nation along party lines. The timing was no coincidence. Just as Trump made his demand, House Democrats released a trove of emails suggesting the president may have had prior knowledge of Epstein's crimes, though, as of now, no concrete evidence has surfaced to support these claims. The release of these documents only deepened the sense of political theater surrounding the case. Many observers see the president's call as a calculated counterattack, a move designed to shift scrutiny away from himself and onto his political rivals. Political analysts and commentators have debated whether this is a genuine pursuit of justice or a strategic maneuver in an ongoing partisan battle. Within hours, Attorney General Pam Bondi responded, announcing a new federal probe to be led by Jay Clayton, the U.S. Attorney for the Southern District of New York. The speed of this response was unprecedented, raising eyebrows across the legal and political spectrum. Bondi praised Clayton's legal acumen and experience, emphasizing his reputation for independence. Yet, the rapid appointment and the high-profile nature of the case immediately sparked concerns about whether the investigation would be free from political influence or if it was being orchestrated for partisan gain. Unlike previous investigations into Epstein's network, this one is explicitly political, with its focus squarely on Trump's opponents. Critics argue that the use of federal law enforcement in this way risks undermining the very foundations of impartial justice, while supporters claim it's a necessary step to expose the truth. The Justice Department's every move will now be under a microscope, as the public, the media, and lawmakers watch for any sign of political interference or manipulation. Protests have already erupted outside courthouses, and news panels are filled with heated debate. The stakes could not be higher. This investigation has the potential to redefine the boundaries between justice and politics in America, setting a precedent for how future cases involving powerful figures are handled. As the probe begins, the nation is left to wonder whether justice will truly be served, or if the process will be manipulated by those in power. The outcome could shape public trust in the legal system for years to come. In the coming months, all eyes will be on the scales of justice. Will they remain balanced, or tip under the immense weight of political pressure? Only time will tell if the truth will finally emerge, or if it will be buried beneath the shifting sands of American politics. Jay Clayton, now thrust into the spotlight at the center of the Epstein probe, is a corporate lawyer by training, not a career prosecutor. His background is rooted in high-stakes business law, where he built a reputation for navigating complex financial cases and representing some of the world's most powerful corporations. Unlike many who rise through the ranks of the Justice Department, Clayton's path has always been through the private sector, making his current role all the more unusual. Before taking the helm at the Southern District of New York, Clayton was a partner at the prestigious law firm Sullivan & Cromwell, a powerhouse on Wall Street. He later served as chairman of the Securities and Exchange Commission under President Trump, overseeing the nation's financial markets during a turbulent era. His close ties to Trump, both professional and personal, have fueled persistent doubts about his independence. Critics point to his history of representing major banks and corporations, and his appointment by Trump, as reasons to question whether he can act impartially in such a sensitive investigation. Clayton's appointment to lead the Southern District bypassed the usual Senate confirmation process, coming instead from a panel of federal judges. This unusual move only added to the controversy and raised eyebrows among legal experts and the public alike. Since stepping into the role, Clayton has kept a notably low profile, rarely making headlines and steering clear of high-profile prosecutions, until now. The Epstein case marks his first major test in the public eye. Critics openly question whether Clayton can withstand intense political pressure and maintain the independence of his office. Supporters, however, argue that his deep legal expertise and experience with complex cases make him uniquely qualified for the challenge. Clayton now faces a daunting task: to lead a politically charged investigation while proving his office's integrity and his own commitment to justice. The stakes could not be higher, both for his career and for public trust in the legal system, Every move he makes will be scrutinized by the media, legal analysts, and the public, all searching for signs of bias or true independence. The pressure is immense, and the consequences of any misstep could be far-reaching. The outcome of this case will test not just Clayton's character and resolve, but also the principle of equal justice under the law, a principle that is foundational to the American legal system. With the nation watching closely, all eyes are on Jay Clayton to see if he can rise to the challenge and deliver justice when it matters most. The Southern District of New York, often referred to as the Sovereign District, is more than just a federal prosecutor's office. It's a symbol of legal independence and integrity in the American justice system. With a storied legacy stretching back over a century, the SDNY has built a reputation for fierce independence, earning respect and sometimes even fear from those in power. For generations, its prosecutors have taken on the nation's most complex and high-stakes cases, ranging from organized crime and terrorism to Wall Street fraud, often standing firm against political interference from Washington, D.C. Now, with the assignment of the controversial Epstein case to Jay Clayton, a known Trump ally, the district's proud tradition of autonomy faces an unprecedented test. President Trump's direct order to reopen the case marks a sharp and unusual break from the office's long-standing independence, raising questions about the boundaries between politics and justice. Legal veterans, former prosecutors, and scholars are watching closely, debating whether Clayton will defend the district's hard-won reputation or succumb to mounting political pressure. The credibility of the office and the public's trust in the entire justice system now hangs in the balance, as citizens and legal professionals alike voice their concerns. If the investigation is perceived as politically motivated or partisan, it could inflict lasting damage on the district's standing, undermining decades of work to maintain its impartiality. The choices Jay Clayton makes in the coming weeks will determine whether the Sovereign District can continue to serve as a beacon of independent justice, or if it will be seen as vulnerable to outside influence. The stakes here extend far beyond a single case. At risk is the very future of prosecutorial independence in America, and the example the SDNY sets for the rest of the country. As the world watches, the Southern District must navigate this extraordinary challenge, knowing that its actions will echo throughout the justice system for years to come. The new Epstein investigation was instantly branded a witch hunt by critics, who see it as a political weapon. Reid Hoffman, named by Trump, called the probe slanderous and politically motivated. The timing, right after damaging claims about Trump's own ties to Epstein, fuels suspicions of deflection. Even some Republicans worry the Justice Department is being politicized. The idea of using law enforcement to settle political scores alarms both parties. Jay Clayton now leads an investigation many already view as illegitimate. To counter this, he'll need to show extraordinary transparency and impartiality. Any hint of bias could destroy his credibility, and that of the entire probe. The legal community is split over Clayton's appointment and the new probe. Some, like former Manhattan DA Cyrus Vance Jr., vouch for Clayton's integrity and independence. Others point to his lack of prosecutorial experience and close ties to Trump as red flags. Clayton's recent comments criticizing the legal establishment's silence during Trump's prosecutions have only deepened skepticism. Supporters hope his character will prevail. Critics fear he'll politicize the office. The unprecedented nature of this situation leaves everyone guessing. Lawyers and judges nationwide are watching closely, searching for signs of either integrity or partisanship. Clayton's every move will be a test of the justice system's resilience. The outcome will shape perceptions of legal independence for years to come. The firing of Maureen Comey, a key Epstein prosecutor and daughter of James Comey, casts a shadow over the new investigation. Comey, who helped convict Ghislaine Maxwell, was abruptly dismissed by the Trump administration in July 2025. She's now suing the DOJ, alleging political retaliation tied to her father's criticism of Trump. Her removal deprived the SDNY of its most knowledgeable Epstein expert just before the case was reopened. Clayton reportedly tried to save her job, but stayed publicly silent, raising questions about his willingness to defend his team's independence. Critics argue that firing the lead prosecutor undermines the credibility of the new probe. The absence of Comey is both a practical loss and a symbol of political interference. For many, her firing is proof that the investigation is tainted from the start. Clayton must now prove the probe is more than a political errand. The Epstein investigation is a test of the American justice system's independence. If presidents can order investigations of rivals, the DOJ risks becoming a political weapon. This undermines the rule of law and threatens democracy itself. The case also exposes how fragile the norms separating politics from prosecution have become. Trump's public directive shattered the tradition of keeping the DOJ independent. Now, every action by Clayton and the DOJ will be viewed through a political lens. The outcome will reveal whether justice in America can withstand partisan pressure. The nation's faith in its institutions hangs in the balance. As the investigation targets individuals, a separate fight rages over releasing Epstein's files. Lawmakers and advocates want all government records made public, believing they hold crucial evidence. But the new probe gives the DOJ a reason to keep files secret, citing an ongoing investigation. Critics say this tactic protects the powerful and keeps the truth hidden. Transparency advocates argue only full disclosure can deliver justice for Epstein's victims. The public is caught between wanting a thorough investigation and fearing a cover-up. The DOJ's choice, transparency or secrecy, will reveal its true priorities. The battle over the files may decide whether the full story ever comes to light. As the dust settles, the future of the Epstein investigation is uncertain. Jay Clayton's first steps, his team, his transparency, will set the tone. The SDNY previously found no grounds for new charges, so Clayton must find new evidence or risk the probe stalling. Every development will be politicized, with no outcome likely to satisfy all sides. If Democrats are indicted, it will be seen as vindication by some, a political hit job by others. If no charges emerge, critics will call it a sham. The controversy will persist, regardless of the result. This is more than just another scandal. It's a test of the rule of law. The coming months will show if the justice system can withstand political pressure. The nation's trust in justice is on the line.